Give me my theme music! What's up, Buffs Nation, and welcome into Buffs News Weekly Live. I'm your host, Ross Dornish, and welcome into this Monday afternoon show as we are covering all things Colorado football and spring practice. We had a lot of news and information to come out today, and so I wanted to cover all of that, from more information about the spring game to more information about Pro Day. Could Coach Prime be concocting a new way for college football to do its spring games, or could this be the end of spring games altogether? We're going to talk about the quarterback battle and what's going on during practices, as well as an update to some personnel and injury news on the team this spring. So again, appreciate you for joining with me today and going over all of this news and information. Make sure to hit that like, comment, subscribe, the whole usual get up. If you're over on Twitter, hey, come check us out over on YouTube so that you can actually be a part of the conversation here in our chat for today's video, as well as all future ones. And of course, make sure you have that notification bell turned on so you're notified when we go live and videos post as well. Appreciate you dropping by. Welcome in, Ricky. Thank you. And Eric coming in as well. A lot to unpack, not only from the presser, but just so much more. We have a lot of information that just came out today that we're going to be able to cover. TK in the house. Appreciate you dropping by. I think one of the hired is going to be a quarterbacks coach. Yes, supposedly we're going to get some updates to the coaching staff to sometime this week. Coach Prime made it out to be that there are going to be some updates to the coaching staff coming. I wouldn't be surprised if a quarterback coach was part of that. That's one position that we don't really have covered on the roster right now. And so something to pay attention to and look out for. I would definitely say so myself. So let's first talk about the big pieces of news, which of course was the press conference with Coach Prime today, which included a number of big pieces of information. But we'll start with the first piece of information that came out before he spoke, and then we'll talk about his kind of expansion on that announcement. So let me really quickly share my screen here. We can go through this all together because there is a lot to unpack when it comes to this team. So first off, we are going to talk about the big piece of information and news, and that is the Colorado Black and Gold spring game will be nationally televised once again. It was not last year, if you remember. They took a year off, was not on ESPN. This year, we will be on ESPN2 Saturday, April 19th at 2:30 p.m. with tickets on sale now. Now, the information that Coach Prime was able to drop during his press conference was that he would love to be able to bring in another team to participate not only in the spring game, but to do similar to the NFL does during preseason, which is have a number of days of practice beforehand. Now, I'm going to drop a little bit of tidbit news if you want that you could have found over on Twitter, again, if you're following along. But I want to talk about this little piece of news. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Maybe I retweeted it. Give me 2 seconds here. I want to show you guys. But a certain football coach posted about Coach Prime and the offer to bring in a team to play or be a part of this, and that is right here. We can use this one. So Fran Brown, the coach of the Syracuse Orange football team, has responded to Coach Prime's request to try and find a team to come to Boulder and be a part of the spring practice and spring game. And he says that he would love to come to Boulder for 3 days with the team. That very well could be an absolute massive way of making this a much bigger deal, bringing back the tradition that is spring games in a much better way, something that's going to get a lot more attention. It's also going to be much more beneficial to the teams. So let me know, would you guys like to see Colorado face off against another team in the spring game? And who's the team that you would like to see do that? Okay. Would you like to see Syracuse? Some of the other teams that I've seen dropped, and you tell me what you think. Okay. The other ideas and other teams that I believe are also potentially in, you got Norfolk State. You got, why not bring in Michael Vick's team? Why not bring in a Deshaun Jackson team? Or even better, why not bring in Jackson State and bring it full circle with Coach Prime bringing in his old HBCU team to be a part of a spring game? Those are all, I think, great connections, ties, and would be great options to bring in to do a spring game. You're going to get some more eyes on players. It's going to help the players out too. I know what's going on right now in the world when it comes to spring games. I know that Matt Rule in Nebraska and other Big Ten teams are canceling their spring games left and right because they don't want to show off their players for other teams to poach them. That to me is honestly a selfish response. Okay, if you're a Nebraska fan, that should be embarrassing that your coach is so afraid that your players are going to be grabbed by other programs that he doesn't want to have a spring game for you, the fans, to see what his team is going to do. Okay, Coach Prime would want to create an even bigger showcase for these players because he knows that if they want to leave, they will leave. Okay, if somebody's going to come along with a bigger bag, you've got something else to be afraid of. Okay? You can't tell me that Jordan Seaton isn't probably getting phone calls from programs offering more money than what he's making at Colorado. But he believes what this team is doing. He believes in Coach Prime, and that's why it doesn't matter. But you got a Matt Rule at Nebraska, I guess, afraid that his players are going to get snatched up if he puts them on national TV. That's an embarrassing statement. And I know that there are Nebraska fans who watch these streams. If you're in here, I hope that you are just as mad about it as anybody else should be, because you absolutely should be. Fran Brown is down to come to Boulder, Syracuse, Colorado spring game. Let's go. That would be epic. Northside, Nebraska. That's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. I want Miami or FSU. I mean, that would be massive in the sense of how big it could be. I just don't think that would happen, especially if it's the first time that something like this is happening where we're looking to play another team. That's the only thing I would say there. The true test of where you stand is another school, even though it is a spring game, true litmus test. And Eric, I would like to point out and really expand on that comment, because I think you're absolutely right. One of my biggest concerns right now, and hey, let's be honest, one of the biggest concerns of all Buffs fans out there is, how good is our offensive line? Okay? What do we need to improve there? Guess what? The only way we're going to find that out is if we go up against other opponents whose goal it is to get to our quarterback. So you tell me, are we going to have to wait until week 1 of the college football season to find out what we truly have? Or could we have a test in the spring to determine, hey, we're looking good, or, oh, we need to go get some more players? That's the one way that's going to find out. Allie, these college coaches be soft. Buddy, let's go Big Red. South Carolina fans want to play Colorado. I think a lot of schools fans are going to want to take Coach Prime up on this offer, because it does benefit the fans to know what you have. It really does. I want LSU, says Buddy. What's up, Rob? Appreciate you dropping by. Yep, I think it is a great idea as well. It's the best way to know truly what you have as a team early on. And I think it would be an absolute massive, massive ploy by Coach Prime to figure out a way to do this. Okay, to really figure out a way to do this. So I think that's where we're at when it comes to the spring game. That's one of the big announcements that we talked about. He wanted to do that kind of pro-style spring game exhibition, so to speak, to see what we could find out about it. And I absolutely love that Fran Brown already put out a message, before anybody else really could, and said, hey, I'm down. Let's do this. Let's do this. The other bit of information that we found out today, along with the spring game, by the way, guys, is that the Colorado Pro Day will also be nationally televised on the NFL Network. So let's just talk about this, guys. Not only is our spring game on national TV, not only are our regular games, by the way, every single one of them were on national TV this past season, our spring game and our Pro Day is going to be on national TV, showing off the entire world what we have available. But hey, I can imagine that it's going to be must-see TV when you've got Shador Sanders throwing, when you've got Travis Hunter. I've been seeing some stats about some different draft eligible players who have gone through their pro days, and all we get is a tweet about how well they did. Everybody's going to see how well the Colorado players do on a national scale. Again, why would you not want to be at Colorado? Better get your spring games ticket now. I was about to say, Rob, I wonder if that's going to change the pricing of the tickets. So it might be smart to snag a ticket quick before they change how the order or the idea is going to be for it, because those tickets are going to be in high demand if another team is coming. That it's going to double that interest in that game to come and see it. I probably would want to go and see it. I might just drive down to Colorado and see it. I have to drive down at some point in Colorado here in the next couple months to go house shopping. Might as well put it around the spring game at this point, because that is going to be must-see TV. How about it? North Carolina, Colorado Springs. Oh, there we go. First time ever seeing Bill Belichick. Here's the problem. Here's the problem with that, Eric. Bill Belichick is too much of a curmudgeon to say he would want to practice against them. I mean, just think about that. But he gets it. That is why he's called Prime Time. Coach Prime, always setting new trends, disturbing the peace. Coach Bear Bryant, old blowhard fans are upset. You see all the teams pulling back on their spring games this year. And what does Coach Prime do? He doubled down, baby. He doubled down on it. He doesn't care if other teams get to see his players. One of two things is going to happen. Either the player's going to stay and show that they're truly committed, or they're going to go and do something else elsewhere. But he wants them to succeed, guys. That's what I don't get. This is a big year for Colorado this season. Will make Colorado the face of college football if it's done right. Eric, Carl Durrell and prior Colorado coaches could only dream to televise this pro day. Why Rick George brought in Coach Prime helps that Coach Prime has that NFL background. And it's honestly why we're seeing the pro day be on NFL Network, is because of Coach Prime's direct relationship with the NFL Network. Coach Prime is all about the relationships. We see it in the coaches he's brought in. We see it in the advertisements he's brought in. You think about the walk-on players who have had spots in national advertisements. How many other schools can you tell me in the entire country have walk-ons appearing in national televised commercials? I will wait. That's right, 0. The answer is 0. NILU. We are all eyes on us, you. Everything that we do is going to be at the center of the college football world. While other teams, yes, they get there just by winning, we will get even higher if we get the winning part completed and continue the growth that Coach Prime has had year over year. That's it. A lot of new faces on the coaching staff. We need names. I know. We've got to wait. They're holding everything close to the vest, guys. They are holding everything very close to the vest. And I think a lot of that has to do with how the offensive line coaching search kind of went down, guys. I truly do believe that. We will see more information. Also, I'm going to tease something because I like to do that. Hey, why not keep you guys around for the video? Why not those of you watching this video later on want to stick around for later in the video? I got a little bit of insider information when it comes to the coaching extension. Nothing massive, by the way, guys. I'm not going to say that all Coach Prime's extension's done. They're ready to call it. No, I'm just going to let you guys know that I've spoken to some people connected to the program and have gotten just a little bit of information on what's going on with the contract extension. And the one thing I will say is, do not panic, guys. I've seen some people online already crashing out saying that Colorado's about to lose Coach Prime because they're messing with his money. Don't worry, okay? That's all I'll say, but we'll talk about it here at the end of the stream. I will bring it up. Make sure somebody reminds me if for some reason I forget, but I won't. I won't forget. Robert Mathis, bring in Jackson State for the spring game. That's what I said. Go full circle. Let's go full circle. I would love to hear the Jackson State fans who have been just an angry bunch of people at Coach Prime for leaving be upset that he's again showcasing Jackson State. I really would. Prime probably already talking to some schools about that spring game. Oh, Coach Fran immediately picked up the phone, but wanted to make it public to just show that, hey, I'm all in on this right away. That's what I think. That's what I absolutely think when it comes to that. Now, some of the other stuff that we need to talk about today, we obviously talked about the pro game. We obviously talked about the spring game. There are going to be changes to the coaching staff. Lots and lots of information just from Coach Prime's presser, but we've got other stuff too. I'd like to give a little bit of a injury update that we did not know about, which is going to change the way that we tackle the spring portal, guys. Something that I don't think thought was going to happen. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and pull it up. Unfortunately, it looks like that Makari Vickers actually had heart surgery. That's right, heart surgery. Now, when you hear that, you can automatically assume he's probably not going to see the field for a while. Okay, so it's very, very unfortunate. I'm glad they caught it. Big ups and big props to, I'm assuming, Colorado staff, because I'm assuming they found the issue that he was having, unless it was before he signed. I don't know. We don't have that information. But I would like to say huge amount of thoughts and prayers from Buff Nation to Makari Vickers. Please get well. We were looking forward to seeing you in that back end. We can't wait till you're there. In the meantime, obviously, that makes DB a even higher priority in the spring portal, as it was already somewhat lacking in depth, and I really thought the Makari Vickers would definitely be a starter somewhere, whether that was a safety or even possibly challenging for a cornerback spot. So because of that, that's obviously going to jump up there to the required grabs in the portal. So be on the lookout for a safety/corner. Again, big ups to Makari Vickers. Please get well soon. And yeah, big bit of news that came out today. Yeah, we're getting more DBs. I miss Ethan O'Connor every day. Oh, you guys are awesome. Absolutely love it. But absolutely, yes. Hey, that is something that we don't talk about very often, that people don't realize, by the way. Colorado is one of several. There are universities that have this, but Colorado has one of the top-rated medical facilities in the entire country. Okay, we've got a very, very good hospital that is on campus at Colorado. It's literally attached to the sports complex. There literally is just a right there. Like, for instance, when Travis Hunter lacerated his kidney, okay, and that cheap shot from CSU game last year, they put him in a vehicle and got him right up there to the hospital. Like, he did not have to go far, guys, to get treated for that. So there is a lot of things that are very, very positive about that. I would also assume that Nikhil Webb-Walker and his cancer diagnosis came from the medical staff, or at least they red flagged him for, hey, something's wrong. We need to get you in for, all of this testing to make sure that you're okay. And they found that early on. Okay. So Travis's injury, getting him treated quickly. Makari Vickers' heart surgery, getting him treated quickly. Nikhil Webb-Walker, getting him diagnosed and figuring that out quickly. Massive bit of stuff that I don't think a lot of people talk about when it comes to the facilities at Colorado. So big props to the staff and medical doctors at CU Boulder for being able to do that. Let's see. Russ, what city are you looking to move to? Did you do a podcast from Greeley? I like UNC's Digicourse. Buddy, I did do a podcast from Greeley because that's where my in-laws are from. We are moving to the Longmont area of Colorado. So won't be too far from all of that. My wife is actually a UNC grad. I'll throw that out there for everyone. She is a UNC grad, and that's just where it's at. Let's see. I love this. Oh, here we go. East Coast Kev coming in massive with the super chat, $5. Syracuse head coach Fran Brown just announced that he would accept Prime's challenge. Absolutely. I think that would be an absolute get. I would love to watch a Syracuse Colorado spring game. Love to watch it. And that connection with Fran, that connection with, more of the coaching staff, that is something that I would love to see. That would be my number one choice, honestly, for the spring game. My number 2 choice would be Michael Vick, and my number 3 choice would be Jackson State. Any of those 3, and I would be a happy camper. I would think that would be a massive success. Massive success. Let's see. What do we got going on here? McKinney said the newcomers are doing. What's your thoughts? It doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me at all. And WW hitting the last round of treatment. That's fantastic. Yeah, Nikhil Webb-Walker, I hope he returns. I hope he returns. I hope he gets to come back to Colorado. I hope he gets to eventually play. That would be awesome. That would probably be the easiest spring game. A Northern Colorado spring game would probably be the easiest spring game for Colorado to get if we're talking money. However, if Coach Fran and Syracuse is offering and they want to be a part of it, that could work too. Northern Colorado would be my last resort. Like, hey, let's just try and do something, because honestly, it would not be a very good game. It would not be a very good game at all. I'm just saying. Radio Pastor, what's good? Welcome in. Appreciate you dropping by. Thank you so much for dropping in. Yep, Sac State could also be the school. That's another one to keep tabs on. They're starting to up and come with the money that they have available there at the school now. Outside of that, other information, other news that we have there. I mean, like I said, there's just so much going on, but the big thing is then, and I want to get into actual players. Like, let's talk about it. Okay. By the way, I've got a video coming out later on Julian Lewis. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. Just going to kind of summarize his practices, the press conferences that have happened, give you kind of a one-stop shop for all Julian Lewis information from the last week or so. So keep an eye out for that. I'm going to try and get that up maybe tonight if I've got the time. So again, be on the lookout for that. We'll include Coach Prime's presser today because, he knows what he is seeing. Okay, the idea is who can come up to speed the quickest, who can be ready to go. He's not ruling out a Julian Lewis as a starter, but Caden Salter's looking great, guys. Caden Salter is looking very good right now in the spring. And that practice, that ball that he threw today, that was on the Buffs social media pages. You know what? I'll just show it. What am I even doing, guys? What am I even doing? Let's go ahead and pop it up. Okay. This pass is ridiculous, guys. Okay. And we will go full screen with it. Look at this. Look at Coach Prime in the middle throwing his hands up. That is an excellent pass by Caden Salter. This is what we're dealing with right now, guys. Caden Salter has got it going on. Absolutely has it going on right now. And I'm telling you, it is not a bad thing if Julian Lewis sits for a year. I swear, I'm over the people who are saying that if Julian is not the starter, he's transferring out. Guys, The kid is supposed to be a junior in high school right now and a senior in high school next year. It's okay. Like, I guarantee you that he would be okay with sitting. As long as it's true that the quarterback ahead of him beat him out, he'd be fine sitting a year and being ready to go next year. Like, absolutely 100%. And it is. Stevie, you've got it. It is a fantastic problem that we have right now, that we have two very good quarterbacks. And I will talk about it in the new video that, you know, the best case scenario right now for us, by the way, is what's happening right now. We're going to have two very competent quarterbacks on the roster. And if one of them happens, God forbid, to get injured, the season isn't over. Versus last year, Shedeur Sanders goes out and we're done. We were done. The year before that, Shedeur Sanders leaves, we're done. The season's over. We're not going to the Big 12 championship. We're not going to the national championship. That's what is going on with that. So that's really for sure. I know we've seen a lot of quarterbacks not completing those easy passes. We have. Yeah, Coach Prime. Okay, yeah, this is a little bit of okay. I want to talk about this and address this. Okay, because I'm wondering if that's exactly what happened. If Coach Prime maybe said something incorrectly. I'm gonna wait for an official announcement where we talk about that more, because none of the news outlets are even carrying that was slipped into his conversation where he said Grant Hammer OC. Like, I don't know what's going on with that. It's really weird that just got dropped out of nowhere in the list of like smaller hires. That's a massive position to fill. So I'm wondering if maybe it was more of like a quality control analyst, like he got promoted to, because I looked, he's on the staff. He's been on the staff, much younger person, not a ton of experience. I think that maybe Coach Prime redid that. Yeah, I think it was QC too. I think that, yes. I listened to the clip, guys. I did. I listened to the clip. I did think that Coach Prime said OC very quickly, and I think he did not say that correctly. I think it was QC. QC, not OC. QC, not OC. Okay? Because Grant Hammer does not have any experience in calling plays, and an OC with no experience calling plays and no ties to like the NFL or anything, like, that's insane. No, I think it was misheard. Now, if we get a completely new OC on top of Pat Shurmur, I'd be completely fine with that on top of that. Like, both of them work in that. I just don't. Grant is not the OC, guys. He's not the OC. What's good, Allie? What's good, Dre? That's right, Coach Dre in the house. Lil Bucket. TK, okay. I know what I heard. I know. I heard Coach Prime say OC, but he was talking about, in the process of that, not that big of hires. I just think he was not. I think he misspoke a little, guys. I really, really do. I really, really do. He did say we're looking at some new coaches coming within the week or so. Yep. We talked about that at the beginning of the stream. I do think we're going to see some more coaches added to the staff. Somebody made mention of the quarterback coach. That is a position we know that is open, because we do not have that yet. Some thought it might be Julian Lewis's quarterback coach at some point. Some people wanted QB select. Now with his guys going to the NFL, I don't think that's going to happen. So something to think about. Quarterback coach is something that we're missing, and I know that we're going to have. And again, I'm going to go up now. Up in the air, new staff, QB select. I want to see the Cal wide receiver coach get work, show us some new stuff. Yeah, I wonder who's going to be the quarterback coach. That's the next kind of question. Freudian slip, says Buddy. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, though. What had happened? Oh, that one's going to hurt Prime. He's going to have to come out and probably correct that if somebody picks it up more. I've right now seen some fans tweet it out. I have not seen DNVR pick it up. I've not seen Adam Munster Tiger pick it up. I've not seen, any of those guys pick it up. And the fact that would be massive news, guys. I'm telling you, okay? It was a misspeak. It was an absolute misspeak on his side. Cordell would be an option if he wanted to, if he wants to coach. I don't know what Cordell's up to. DB assistant, linebacker assistant, those do need to get replaced. As you guys remember, George Hilo was kind of a linebacker quality control coach, got promoted. I don't know if anybody filled his spot. I don't. He's going to be QC, not OC, people. Coach was just talking fast. Exactly, Coach Trey. That's why I didn't want to make it like, if that was the news, trust me, that's what this video would be about. I would have a full, like, grant video on the new OC. That would be everything. Like, I'm pretty much sure that was why. That was absolutely why. Might get another quarterback, linebacker coach. Rob, you're absolutely right. I don't want Cordell to be quarterback coach. He talks like he's the reason Juju's here. Well, he's not. He doesn't say that. He's part of that. He's part of that. Okay, so the coaching staff questions and all that leads me to my next point and what I teased at the beginning of the stream, guys. Okay, so I spoke to somebody, and it's going to go back to Coach Prime's presser because he also talked about this. Somebody asked Coach Prime, hey, what's the update on your contract extension? And Coach Prime, being the ever professional he is, said that it's not a priority right now. I've got other people to take care of. Did you guys notice he said that? I've got other people to take care of. That again reiterates the fact that we're going to see more staff hired. He is going to take care of his staff first. Coach Prime doesn't need the money. This isn't a money thing, okay? The extension is not necessarily a money thing. Like, it's going to be great to be paid what you're worth. That's one thing. But Coach Prime wants the other people to get handled, which could also explain why, one, the extension is taking so long. If they're waiting to get all of these other people hired, that may help determine, okay, how much can we pay Coach Prime if we're paying his staff way, way more because we've expanded it by twice as many coaches. Because you notice we're getting more coaches this time, okay? We've got 3 offensive line coaches, okay? We've got multiple defensive line coaches again. Like, all of that's kind of happening. So the staff salary pack is growing for Coach Prime. Okay. And like I said, it's not a bottomless pit of money. There's not just unlimited money glitch here at Colorado. They can go out and get the money, but they need to know what it's for. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully you guys are understanding that. You know, if they say at the end of the day, okay, yeah, we're going to pay Coach Prime $15 million. We've got about $10 million of it. We need to go get $5 million. Now we can go to our boosters and say, hey, we're about to re-sign Coach Prime. We need $5 million to do it. Can you donate $5 million? You see what I'm saying? That's how it works with these sports. You want an ask. As somebody who's been tied to nonprofits in the past, and I've done fundraising for nonprofits, i.e. universities are technically nonprofits. When you ask people for money, you can ask just, hey, donate money. And that's what Colorado does on a daily basis. But if you want a big amount of money, it is better to list out specifically what that money is for and to put something behind it. So if you put a face behind it and say that, hey, this money that you are donating is going to go directly to securing Coach Prime for the next 5 years to stay as our football coach, and we specifically need this much to get across that finish line, that is a bigger motivation for people to open their checkbook and write a check. Okay. Does that make sense? I hope that you guys understand that that's how donations work when it comes to big donors. Little donors, regular donors like you, like me, that are going to just put some money into the program. We don't need that. We have a tie to the connection. We have a connection to the program. We love the program. We want to see it. Okay. So does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to people, because I've seen a lot of crazy takes online that Coach Prime's not re-signing, anything like that. Now, the other piece of information that I have, and the one that I've actually talked to, is I spoke to somebody related to the program who speaks regularly with one of our biggest boosters. Okay? One of the biggest boosters. And here is what they had to say. Okay? Prime is the king of leverage and marketing and clicks. There's no risk of him going anywhere. It may be that he wants to wait out what's happening right now with the coaching staff, with Shador, all of that. So they were told by the booster that they think that the contract will be done by either the end of spring or right before the spring game. And that's what the boosters being communicated with. That's what they're raising money for. That's what they're telling people, that the goal is to have this done by the end of spring game. Okay. So straight from the horse's mouth, straight from boosters. That's the most information you're going to get type of thing, because they're in the know, because they want to get their money. And so they need to know a little bit extra than just your normal or ordinary everyday people. Okay. CU needs a donor that doesn't mind throwing around money like that. They're out there. They're out there. Don't give a damn. They really are. It's not about him. It's about others. And I've been telling you all that. And for people saying that Mathis can't coach, the NFL calling, but loyal and family ties mean more. Yep. Coach Mathis getting the call to the Saints, potentially bringing him in as a position coach, and he's staying around. Livingston choosing to get paid more rather than go elsewhere. That's a huge thing. I'm glad that happened. 5 years is too long. I threw out a random number, guys. I threw out a random number for what the extension would look like. Okay. I honestly, and I bet most of you here will say the same thing. You don't care how much he gets paid. You don't care how long it's for. As long as Coach Prime signs an extension that says, hey, I'm here to stay to shut people up, that's all we care about. Am I right? Am I right? Like, you guys let me know. Because that's where we're at. Let me go back through some of the other questions you guys had. Carl Reed just tweeted Coach Prime wants UNC for that spring game. By UNC, do you mean North Carolina or Northern Colorado? Rob, you got to realize in Colorado, UNC means two different things to some people, and some people are talking about Northern Colorado in the chat. Imagine saying you don't want a legend at his alma mater. Ha ha. Local Boulder businesses should drop that bag to secure him. Trust me, they are already tossing money, guys. Tossing money, I can tell you that. Kirby making 13. Okay, so we thinking 15 million on Coach Prime there. These guys would be crazy to leave Boulder. They have keys to the kingdom. That's my thought exactly. That's why I think Coach Prime is not taking an NFL job this year. Okay, like everybody thought he would. That's why. Okay, so he just said UNC. I don't think Carl Reed realizes that there's two UNCs when it comes to the Colorado world. My guess is Carl Reed probably meant North Carolina and Bill Belichick. That would make sense to me. As long as he gets that extension, I'm good. I'll be rejoicing. Exactly, Robert. Yeah. The details are not a thing that matters to us. Jock Upton. What are we talking about with Jock Upton there, Gualo? We talking about a player? Or are we talking about a coach? Let's see. Jacques Gualo. And notice I'm not searching with it up, because I don't want to pull anything up that I'm not supposed to. Coach. Okay. Let's find out. Coach Jacques Gualo. I'm not getting anything pulling up for him. Is that spelled right? You tell me. North Carolina, yeah. That's what I said. I thought it meant that, especially if it's Carl Reed talking about it, because he's not going to be familiar with UNC, but I don't think he realizes it. So, yeah, a lot of stuff happening right now, guys. I mean, it is spring football, and the news is coming out quick and fast. Absolutely love that Coach Prime got to speak today, got to talk about all the things that we are missing and needing right now. But UNC would be absolutely, I think, great with Bill Belichick. Okay, he did say directly Coach Belichick and UNC. Coach Upton. I wonder, Prime grooming the next head coach. I would say it's Robert Livingston, if I'm being honest. I would say it's that. Coach Upton football. This is hard, guys. There's a lot. You're not giving enough. Coach Upton on Twitter. Okay. What is his background? I see him tweeting out a bunch of recruits. Is he okay, Jock Upton on Instagram. I see that. Oh, He posted himself in a University of Colorado shirt, and he now has the tagline on Instagram, University of Colorado football coach. Oh, is this the new wide receiver coach you guys were talking about? Yeah, it looks like he was with Cal, now with Colorado. Heard he's a good recruiter. Okay, that is some big information and big news. Let me see if I can actually find more information about him. Here we go. Quality control coach at Cal, and they have no information and no bio on him, guys. No information and no bio. He's close with Corey. That would make sense to me. That would make sense to me. Yeah, it looks like he does not have a lot of info out there, by the way, guys. Not a lot of info out there on him. Posts a lot about high school recruits. Okay, still posting a lot about high school recruits. That looks like his main job right now. So did he get hired as an actual position coach, or is he just going to be like part of the recruiting squad? He was at Ole Miss. Let's see. Football, Ole Miss. Let's pull this up. Jock Upton, analyst at Ole Miss. Let's see if they have more information on him. No information. No bio, guys. No bio. I'm going to all these sites. No bio. Some of y'all are the feds for real. I'm telling you, we have nothing on this guy, and he's all of a sudden now a Colorado coach. Yes, I have his profile at Ole Miss. I have his profile at Cal. The reason why I said Cal was because his Instagram has pictures of him on the sidelines at Cal, and his most recent post is Colorado. No Ole Miss post on his Instagram, which is weird. But yeah, so it looks like we have a new coach position, probably quality control analyst for this team as well. Ole Miss in 22. He might have been Cal then sooner. Just saying. If I pull up his here, I'll show you guys. We'll pull it up. Here you go. Here is his info. Look at this. University of Colorado football. Here's the post. I have to log in to actually view it, but he has Colorado gear on, but there he is in Cal gear. Let's load more posts. Stop asking me to log in. I don't want to log in right now. A lot of Cal stuff, and there's Ole Miss. He's got an Ole Miss post down here. So it looks like Cal was his most recent one that he was a part of, guys. Do you see those two intern weight room ladies? Jeez, buddy, go check out the last stream. I broke down both of the new interns. I agree. I liked both of them. They both brought two different things. One of them, ton of resume, ton of background. The other one, very good motivator, good speaker. So they could both have their own ways of doing things. And so I could see both of them getting hired by Coach Prime, if I'm being honest. Coach Prime bought them both in for a reason. And as long as they do what their job is, I guarantee Coach Prime is going to find them a position on the staff. Yeah, Coach Dre, it makes sense. Why would Coach Prime bring them in person and have them actually work with the team as interns to eventually be hired if he doesn't hire him? Unless, like I said, one of them just blows off the job and is just not very good. But both of them seem very motivated from being put on the spot to having to speak in front of that team and doing a very good job, both of them. So I think both of them will be hired. That's going to be some hires. Obviously, we now have Coach Jacques Upton on staff. We don't know his position as far as what that will be with the team. But, hey, look at that. We've got that confirmation there. Good job, Feds. Good job, Feds. So, yeah, a couple huge additions will be coming to the CU football staff later this week, possibly next week. So make sure you guys are liking my video, please, while you're in here, all 130 of you. Also, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you know when we go live, because guess what? We will be talking about that breaking news when it occurs. We'll be talking about the new coaches on staff. I'm also dropping that Julian Lewis video to give you kind of a summary of what's going on, show you his highlights, show you some press conference stuff, put it all in one video for you guys to all be able to devour at once instead of having to search that out. So look out for that coming later on. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's stream. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Appreciate all of the love, all of the comments. Thank you guys so much. Great time having you here. Again, appreciate East Coast Kev coming in with the $5 super chat. It's always helpful when you guys are throwing a couple bucks my way. I will always appreciate that. So thank you so much for doing that. And until our next stream for Buffs News Weekly Live, I'm Russ Dornish. Go Buffs!